Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Becca and today is the eve of my favorite author's, Christina Lauren's new book release, The Soulmate Equation, and I thought I would just do some tier ranking. So what I'm going to do today is tier rank all of Christina Lauren's adult books, not the novellas. So all of their romance novels and standalones, but not the novellas, because I think 18 books is enough. Okay, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the tier ranking. I have 5 different tiers to sort my books in, the first one being all-time fave, self-explanatory. These are my all-time favorite Christina Lauren books. The next tier down is so good. So they're really good. They're just not favorites. The next tier ranking is just good. It's a good book. The next one after that was just fine. I mean, it was okay. Nothing too special. It wasn't good. It was just fine. And then the last one is just meh. I will say that I am loyal to Christina Lauren. I love all of their books, okay? So the meh category is kind of just like my least favorite. I would say I've reread the majority of these books. I think maybe like 4 or 5 of them I haven't reread, and some of them I have reread probably more than 20 times. These are my comfort reads. When I want to read something, or am I in a reading slump or something, these are the books that I go to. So let's go ahead and jump into the tier ranking, and I think we're going to try to do it first by series, then by standalone. So first off, we have the Beautiful Bastard series. The first one, of course, being Beautiful Bastard. And this book has some great enemies to lovers trope. And yeah, I think that if you love enemies to lovers, you would really like this book. They go at it. I really like both of their characters. I like how they both are very strong-willed and how they kind of have to compromise. And it's gonna go into the so good category because it's not an all-time favorite, but is really good. The next book in that series is Beautiful Stranger, and this interesting kind of plot where the two characters meet in a bar and they have public sex. Not in front of people, like they go into a private area, but it's still in a public area, and that's kind of their thing. They have sex in public places, which that's not anything that I'm just like blown away by or anything. I think I do really like this because these characters are really soft. Like they really are just good, like soft characters, and I really enjoy that. However, it's not a favorite. I'm just gonna put it in the good category because of the whole public sex thing. I'm like, I don't love that. So the next book is Beautiful Player, and this is a friends to lovers trope and a kind of, not fake dating, but like the guy trying to help her become more comfortable with dating and having a relationship, or just, you know, having fun, you know? They both are scientists, but she is very heavily focused on her work, and because of that she finds it hard to get out more, and so he's kind of like teaching her how to have fun. I really like this book. It's actually going into that all-time fave tier. I love this book. This is my favorite of the series. This is my first ever favorite Christina Lauren. It is the reason why I will revisit their books forever. It is this book. I love the main characters. I love both of them. I love how nerdy they are, how they talk about nerdy things, and how they just have such great chemistry, and I love that they're friends first. I love it. I love the heroine. There's one scene where she puts on a Firefly t-shirt, and I'm just like, heck yes, Firefly's my favorite TV show. And then the hero, he's got tattoos, and he's a player, but he's also just really soft, and I love that. And I love their relationship. I love the steamy scenes, and I don't know, I love how they support one another. So I love this book. The next book in this series, I believe, is Beautiful Secret. I don't remember if Beautiful Secret or Beautiful comes first. Beautiful Secret is about, so it's Beautiful Stranger. The hero's name is Max, and so Beautiful Secret is about Max's brother who lives in England, and he's really quiet. He's a very quiet main character and very reserved. He has gone through a divorce, and so the main character in that is a little bit quirky. She really likes him, and they have a very slow burn romance as they try to get to know one another, and I'm gonna put this in fine. I don't like a slow burn romance in general, and this one I think was just a little too slow for me. I've read it multiple times though, so it's not like I hate it. It's just like, it's fine. It's a part of a series that I love, so I'll keep reading it. And then the next book is Beautiful, and this book follows, a beautiful player. The heroine's name is Hannah, and Beautiful is about her brother, who is kind of like a business guy who feels like he doesn't have any time for anything. He ends up going on this kind of vacation with Hannah and Will, who is the love interest and Beautiful player. And they kind of like pair them off because it's all couples. They pair them off with the only other single person who's going with them, and she is also kind of a little quirky, and it's kind of just like how they meet each other and how they end up falling in love. I will say that this one is probably one that I would expect people to have the most issue with, because I want to call it insta love, but kind of. I am going to put this one also in fine, just because, like, I do like the story, I like the characters, I just felt like there's not a lot of development in it. I think what I really love about this novel is that we get to see, like, the after of Beautiful Player, which is my favorite, so that's probably why I like it, so I'm just gonna say it's fine. And that is the entire Beautiful Bastard series. So now we'll go into the other series, but the first one is Sweet Filthy Boy, and the kind of premise of the series in general is that this group of girls go to Vegas for a kind of a graduation celebration, and they all end up getting married to these three guys that they meet there, and they also they get divorced, and it's funny, and it's just so unrealistic, but at the same time I could totally see this happening to this group of people. Sweet Filthy Boy follows our two main characters, Mia and Ansel. Ansel is French, and Mia, she'd gone through a lot in her life, and her father is also kind of very strict, wants her to go to business school even though she wants to be a ballet teacher. She ends up going to visit Ansel during the summer. I'm pretty sure they stay married, and they kind of just live together to see can they actually make a marriage work, because their night in Vegas was really special to both of them. I'm gonna put this one in good. I really like this book. It's not my favorite of the series. It's not an all-time favorite. It's a great start to the series. I think what I don't love about this book is the fact that the main characters aren't my favorite. I really like Ansel. I think he's super funny, especially in the other books. The next one in the series is Dirty Rowdy Thing. So this is our two characters who are kind of, our heroine is kind of like the loudest of the group. She comes from not a rich but a well-off family, and she kind of always gets what she wants. And the male main character, our hero, is kind of the oldest of three brothers who basically run their own business, but the business is kind of failing, and so he's going through a lot of financial stress. He's also the oldest of the group for this series, and so I feel like he kind of feels like he's the most responsible one. He's also kind of quiet but intense. I'm putting this one in so good. It's not an all-time favorite, but this one is my favorite of the series. I really like this book because I really love the two main characters. I feel like it's just kind of the same as Beautiful Bastard. I love how they fight with each other and their banter, and kind of just how they fight falling in love, and I really like that. I think I'll leave it at that with that one. And then the next one in the series is Dark Wild Night, which is our last two main characters who also happen to be the nerds of the group. Our main character, our heroine, she is a graphic novelist, and her graphic novel is being adapted into a film, and that is her big plot point in this book. And then the hero is Australian, and he starts in, I think, Sweet Filthy Boy. He starts a comic book business, like he has a comic book store, and they're both super nerdy. And this is a definite friends to lovers trope because they're the only ones during their whole wild Vegas night who didn't have sex, and so they kind of just like talked the entire time. They just became really good friends, and then throughout the series their friendships just get stronger and stronger until they inevitably decide to start a relationship, and of course one of them has to ruin it. I'm putting this book in So Good. I do also really like it more than Sweet Filthy Boy. I love the nerdy characters, obviously. And I also just love them as a couple because I feel like they're not as loud or just all over the place like some of the other ones. They're kind of settled, and I like seeing that in a relationship. I just really liked this book. Okay, and then the last book in the series, which I don't understand why this is part of the series. Like they like have a very loose connection to the characters of the main characters of the series. Wicked Sexy Liar. And I honestly don't remember a lot about the plot of this book. I've only reread it maybe like once or twice, but I'm gonna put this in fine, just because I don't feel like it's super memorable. Alright, and those are our series. Let's go ahead and jump into the standalones. Maybe I should try in the order that I read them. Maybe. So the first one would be Love and Other Words. I want to say this is their first standalone, their first adult standalone. I remember reading this after having read the two series and being kind of surprised because it's very different. This one is one of the books that I have not reread, and I really want to. I'm gonna put it in fine. What I remember from reading this is that I was just like, it was fine, but I don't love it anywhere near much as I love the other books. As for plot for this book, it is a friends to lovers romance where the two characters kind of grow up, like over the summers they grow up together, and then I don't remember really. I think they end up having sex as teenagers, and then like they grow apart and then they come back together. I don't really quite remember. I need to reread this book. So the next one I think I probably read was Dating You, Hating You. This is gonna be the first one in the meh category. The only thing I really remember about this book is that they live in LA and that there's talk about traffic. This is another one that I've not reread, and that's because I didn't really enjoy it when I first read it. Again, I'm loyal to Christina Lauren, so I'm not gonna say I didn't like it. I just didn't love it. It was just meh. It was fine. It was less than fine. There's a reason I haven't reread it. And then after that, maybe Roomies, which is gonna go in the So Good category. This is a marriage of convenience trope. So our male main character, he is a busker, so he's like in the subway playing music, and our main character comes across him a couple of times and just really enjoys his music and his face and his body, you know? And then she works at or off-Broadway, I don't know, as kind of an assistant. Her his visa has expired and he can't legally work in America. He would be deported. And so they end up getting married so that he can stay, and he ends up moving in with her into her apartment, and it's just a kind of like they become friends, they become lovers, things go wrong as romance does. And yeah, I really, really enjoy this book. I've reread quite a few times. I love the main characters. I love that the male main character is Irish and that you can read his accent. And I also just really love the music aspect. I think it's really cool because our main character, she's kind of confused about what she wants to do. She doesn't really have a lot of direction in her life, and having this whole situation really helps her find that, and I really like that. I guess the one thing I don't love about this book is that her best friend is terrible. It's probably my one complaint with this book. Okie doke. And the next one, this is where it gets kind of, I don't know which order I would have read them in. Probably in publication order, but I don't remember. Let's go with Favorite Half-Night Stand, which I'm also going to put in the meh category. This is a friends to lovers romance where the main characters end up having sex, and it ruins their friendship. That's really all I remember. Again, this one I have not reread, and I really want to because I feel like if I do, I might like it a little bit more. Maybe the next category should be need to reread. Next book, let's say it's Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating. This is again a friends to lovers romance, and all-time favorite. I love this book. If there is one book that you decide to read from this video, please let it be Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating. I love it. It is about our two main characters who they first meet in college, and our female main character, I think she throws up on him, and then years later they end up becoming friends, like best friends, and they decide that they are going to double date, and like they're going to set each other up on blind dates and then go on double dates with these blind dates. And it turns out that they end up having more fun with each other than their actual dates. And I just really love this novel. I love it so much. I love both of our main characters. Our female main character is I think she's a kindergarten teacher, but she's like one of those quirky teachers who's super fun and colorful and would, like, to me, would make a fantastic kindergarten teacher. And then our male main character is kind of a little bit more reserved. I don't remember what he does. Something business. Maybe he's an accountant. I don't know. Though is very different from Hazel. Like is very protective of her and just still loves her personality, even though she's kind of not like him at all. And I just love the build up to their romance. And I'm not a kids person, but the fact that there's a kids aspect in this book, I still really love that. And it's very strange, but I just, all-time favorite, highly recommend. Please read this book. 4 more, and the next one I probably read was Twice in a Blue Moon, and this one is just going to go in the good category. I remember reading this book in one day. I probably read the majority of these books in one day. It's got that isolated setting, which I love, and it's about these two people who kind of fell in love in this whirlwind kind of holiday romance, and then they don't ever see each other. And then years later, our main character is an actress, and she's working on her current film, and the male main character, I don't remember what his role is, like if he is an actor or if he's like a cameraman or something like that, or like he works on the set, I don't remember, but he ends up, you know, working on the set with her, and they rediscover their romance after, of course, some miscommunication. And so it's just good. And then we have our next 3. Let's go with the Unhoneymooners. I think this is probably the most popular Christina Lauren book. Everyone loves this book. And I don't understand why this is the book that everyone has chosen to love. I'm just gonna put it in the good category. I mean, I think it's good. It's just one that doesn't really stick with me for a couple of reasons. I do really enjoy the kind of setup where our main character's sister's wedding goes wrong and all of her guests get food poison except for our 2 main characters because they don't do buffets. And they end up going on their honeymoon instead as a vacation, even though they kind of hate each other. I wouldn't really say this is an enemies to lovers. This is more of a I don't like you to lovers. They learn more about each other. The thing I don't like about this book is that her sister's wedding is in the very beginning, and we learn things about her brother-in-law, her sister's new husband, who happens to be like the love interest's brother. And I don't like it. I don't like how it ends for them. And I'm sure like those things happen. I just don't want to read about that. So that is the one thing that I really don't like about this book. And then we'll go with The Honey Don't List. And this one's going to go in the meh category. I don't like the setup of this novel. It's pretty much a playoff of Chip and Joanna Gaines, except they're having marital problems. And they don't see that on screen. Like, that's kind of the setup. And the 2 main characters are like their assistants. Again, not an enemies to lovers, but I think they don't like each other kind of thing. They're trying to like help their marriage and help the business, and like our main character has been taken advantage of, and I didn't really like it. I didn't feel a lot of chemistry between our main characters, and I just didn't like the setup at all. This is probably my least favorite of their books. Do I hate it? No, because I'm loyal to them. Do I not recommend it? No. Like, I think everyone should read all of their books. But this one I would definitely not prioritize. And then our last one is Anna Holidays, and I'm going to put this one in So So Good. I really enjoyed this book. It's maybe like also because like I don't read a lot of Christmas books, and that's why this one is so high on my list. Maybe there are better Christmas romances out there, but I really enjoyed this. I think it was like kind of their first like twist on a science fiction with like the whole Groundhog Day thing, and I thought that was very well done for authors who've never done something like that before in their adult romances. I liked the main character. I liked what she was going through, her story. I liked her flaws and how she messes up and then learns a lesson. I loved the love interest. I love that this book doesn't resolve in an easy way. I just thought it was very well done, and I really liked it, and I want to reread it every Christmas. So definitely so good, but not an all-time favorite. And there you have my tier ranking of Christina Lauren's adult romances that are not novellas. I'm really interested to see where the soulmate equation is going to land on this list. I might have actually already read it by the time this video is going up, because I did get an arc of it, but I wanted to wait until closer to the publication date. But I'm filming this pretty early, so maybe I'll have already read it, and I can tell you right here where I would rank it. And if I haven't, I hope that I can rank it very high on this list. I'm really excited for it. I think it's going to be very interesting. It's got like another kind of like not science fiction, but like kind of like a twist on a romance that you don't usually see, especially with Christina Lauren's books. So I'm really excited for that. And I also just really love the cover. So highly looking forward to it. And I hope that if you are a Christina Lauren fan, that I did not hurt your feelings with any of my tier rankings. I'm really interested. What are your all-time favorite Christina Lauren books? Or if you've not read any, have I convinced you to read any of them? So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and to subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate your support. Thanks again for watching this video, and if you've made it to this very last clip, put a purple heart emoji in your comment for the release of the soulmate equation. Alright, I'll see you in a new video soon. Bye!